Okay, let's admit Dawn in for this morning's episode. Hope everyone's all right. Is
Oh,
she?
good morning. I've got a little tuft of hair.
Who has? I have.
Oh, I have.
A little tough. You've got loads of tufts.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know what this bit's doing, actually. I think it's got a mind of its own today.
Never
Um,
mind. You look very lovely.
I wasn't swinging for a compliment.
Lovelier than I do.
Oh, no, you're quite handsome, darling. Have you got your lamp up? You're a bit red.
Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. Not very well prepared here. I didn't know you were going to comment on my appearance.
Wow. You said the other morning that I never do, so I thought today I would have a little surprise for you in many things that you say I don't do, and I'm going to do all of them today. That's going to drive you nuts. Okay, let's get on with it.
Don't bang your desk, though.
I just put my foot down.
Okay. Is that better? I've got my light on.
Yes, that's better. You don't look so red.
Okay. It's episode 76. It's Sunday. I've written Monday down. The 7th.
No, it's definitely Sunday.
And before we start, just want to highlight a couple of nice bits of news because it's a bit depressing, the news recently. Jess Judd, international athlete, she liked the episode yesterday, I think. Haven't heard from Jess for a bit. But I know that her and what is now her fiance, Rob Warner, we watch occasionally, and they got engaged, which is
congratulations.
So that's one good little bit of news. Well done to them. Congratulations. And I thought I'd highlight Sam Crick, who's doing a number of podcasts, and he seems to be raising the bar every podcast. And he's just released an interview with Nigel Amos, who is the third fastest 800 metres runner ever from Botswana. He was second to David Rudisha in the London Olympics. And Sam got hold of him by somebody else who lives out with him in America. And did an interview. So well done, Sam. Very proud of Sam. He's doing some good work in the media. And so, it's some good news there to start off with. You're not going to say anything, are you? No.
How can I top that? I just think it's wonderful.
Okay, excellent, good. Okay, we've got another rollover on the music front. Never been to 2-day rollover. So I'm not going to give too much away because it's been one of my life's ambitions the last...
No, it's hardly a life. It's only 70 whatever days.
Yeah, well, it is. Here we go. Day 2, we want... we're trying to get the connection with Gareth Gates, Any One of Us. And before that, we had Harry Styles, didn't we? So, so we're trying to get the connection. Mind you, I don't know why I'm explaining the rules. There's only 4 people in there.
I'm on the tip of my tongue is a giveaway, I think. But come on, let's have the music.
Okay, here we go then. I'm not giving it away. Okay, good. On the catchphrase front, starring Oscar, again, we could have had a rollover from yesterday, but Alan Buckle had a really good stab at it, and I think his answer was actually better than mine. He went for, there are more questions than answers.
Yeah.
I thought that was more appropriate than what mine was. Mine was just question time. I've got another one today for you. So
here we go.
Here we go.
Get these out of the way quick.
It get a bit boring doing having a rollover on the catchphrase.
Yeah. People will think we haven't got anything to talk about the way all these things keep coming up. Come on.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Right. So we're looking for the catchphrase. Say what you see, as they say.
I can only see you at the moment.
Oh, there you go. Be Oscar. Just woken up. Just woken up. Oh, won't do him again. There you go. Good. See if anyone could get the catchphrase there. Some good feedback yesterday. Scott Shermer, he's been off air, as he says. He's been a bit negative, a bit down, but positive. He found in his wife Sharon, who's fantastic at interior design, and I think that's a good way forward, isn't it, Dawn? When you're feeling down, try and focus on the positives.
Yeah, or go and have a cuddle. He's all right to cuddle his wife, even in this day and age. Go and have a cuddle. Well, that's what we do if we've had, the news.
That is not. That is
I do as well.
I think I give you a cuddle more than you give me a cuddle.
Well, I don't feel as down as you do.
Okay, but yeah, a cuddle does make you feel. And when I say cuddle, it is very literally a very little cuddle, isn't it?
Well, Oscar gets jealous as well. You've got to deal with that as well.
Grazia had some good ideas as far as, or good feedback. Sorry, she got stuck with her neighbour after a run, showing pictures of her grandchild, and also she said we were talking about the poem "If" by Rudyard Kipling. Said there's an Italian version which is more up to date, which was a translation. So interesting, but she loves the poem, so that was good to bring that up, and we're going to talk about a bit more of that in a second. Great feedback from Hubert in Canada. He loved your comment about keeping calm and associating that with knowledge. So you get your knowledge and keep calm on a subject. Is that a good summary of what you were saying?
If you've got knowledge on a subject, you bring that to fore and thinking, well, there's no point in getting upset. It's all. I've got to the stage in life where I think most things will work out. They might not be at the time that you're dealing with them, but eventually they will just work out if you keep calm. This is my theory, and I do think that you apply that with whatever's happening, and it just helps you through because you know that it's going to be all right. You've got to keep. It is a very positive thing to keep thinking because even, I suppose if you're sinking in a quicksand, I'm not sure that would help. But at the end of the day, if you're, you know that like I've thought through all of this that it's not going to be forever, and that I hold on to that hope. And things begin to improve, etc. I see little shoots here and there that things are beginning to improve. I'm sort of like reach despair when I see great groups protesting and other gatherings, etc. And I don't understand why people would risk their house to do it, but they've got something to say, so maybe I'm the one who hasn't.
Yeah, I think you've got to be very careful about being too reactionary, but gather your thoughts because there's, And he highlighted somebody who's good at this is Dr. Bonnie in British Columbia, who's quite prepared to admit when they don't know something. So,
I do think that if you don't know the answer, then you haven't got much choice, have you? Because, I tend to, if I don't know the answer, I go away and do a bit of research and I'll find the answer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Rightly or wrongly, there is so much out there now. So much that you can research that you know about. Don't always know, and even when you've done the research, you're not always convinced that it's the right thing. But that's life.
Hubert also mentioned talking about the attitude to winning. He liked the fact that with running you can have personal best or personal records. I'm not sure which it is in Canada, because it's about yourself. And look at yourself, how you were able to put as much into something as you could rather than the performance of others and whether you won or lost. So he quite liked that, and he also thinks ordnance survey maps are a work of art. And yes, and I've combined those 2 points because it made a few people might not be aware of this, but you know what Strava is, don't you?
Yes, I do know what Strava is.
Well, this has cropped up with a few people recently. A facility in Strava. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's like it's sort of James Taylor, who's one of the runners in the club, and where he's been.
Yeah, it is. It's
And
cool.
without the key, knowing where, blue, the two different blues and the red,
Oh,
what's the key then?
what's that going off?
You're washing.
All right, okay. Cool. Thought we had a fire alarm. Okay. Yeah, that is a heat map, which shows in red the ones he does regularly, and then shows the area he's covered at all.
Ah, see,
So,
a map isn't just a map, it has to be explained, otherwise people don't understand it.
so it's giving him a bit of a challenge, and one or two others, to try and find new areas that they've never been to with their running. So that's quite nice. It's called the Strava heat map. Hubert also had good advice for Steve Fury or Grazia or anybody. Well, it's difficult with Grazia, she's on her own. But if you get caught with the neighbour, get your wife or somebody, member of your family, to shout out that the Dawn and Mark show is on and you don't want to miss it. So quite like that. Yeah, good. All right.
Famous last.
I'll turn that off.
Turn that off. You're the one who put it on.
Well, I have to do so much washing and stuff,
Look, wow.
Carry on. You've got something to say. You've got something.
Anyway, I have a book here. I don't know whether you can see it. Can you see the title?
Steve Dunno, Last Dog on the Hill. Sounds a bit rude.
It isn't. It's about friendship.
Oh, right.
It's about friendship between a man who found a dog, and I think he spent 14 years or so with him. We read it once on holiday, but you can't remember. But it was a fantastic read. It's so good. So anyone wants a book, not sure what they want to read, this is wonderful. There you go.
Excellent. Good. Can't remember it, but you told me I read it, but I can't remember.
You did read it. You read it first, and then I read it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Great feedback, everyone. And continuing now with the theme, which is the If poem by the poet laureate Rudyard Kipling. We did Keeping Your Head When Others Don't yesterday. Now it moves on to, if you can trust yourself when others doubt, but make allowance for their doubting. What do you reckon to that, Dawn?
Well, that's because when somebody says something to you, you doubt whether you've got the right conclusion or you're doing the right thing. And I mean, we can all look back in hindsight and, take apart our decisions in life. But at the time, you feel that you're doing the right thing, and you have to live by that. And not, if someone says, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that" or whatever, they've got the hindsight as well. So, it's all very well for them to say that, but what would their decision have been?
Yeah.
Because they've got more knowledge than you. And it is this thing about knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. Yeah. I think also it's quite important, if you're going to trust yourself when others doubt, that, okay, you must listen to them a little bit and take that on board. I think that's a good thing, and that may make you have a contingency plan or a plan B, which I think is also good to have. And also it makes me think of this other phrase where, if you aim at the stars, you might hit the moon. Do you like that one?
Yeah, that one's a good one. Sometimes I do think that you get into a comfort zone, and sometimes you have to aim a little bit higher, push yourself out of your comfort zone, rather than just continuing life with something that's very easy, very relaxing. If you want to achieve something, you've got to push yourself a little bit, haven't you? Well, no matter whether you're talking about something physical or something like challenging yourself. Try and if I can't do something, I keep trying, and that sort of thing. You've got to push yourself. It's no good giving up.
So how do you ally these two well-known approaches? One is, as I say, aiming at the stars, so hopefully you might just at least hit the moon, and also the fact that rather than have a massive thing to aim at, you take baby steps towards it, or you put your first step on the ladder? How do you marry those two things together?
I think it depends on what sort of person you are. Some people need big targets because they're sort of like, high achievers, so they want to push themselves. They don't feel happy unless they have achieved something that's really high up in the sky. And if they miss their target, it doesn't really matter. It's still really high. But then other people are not so confident, so they need to have a structured way of succeeding. So they need to take it easy and gradually and make sure that they are successful. So that success then turns into good self-esteem, and then they can build on that.
Very good. Excellent. What approach do you normally take, you think?
Well, it's difficult to self-analyze yourself because you can't see yourself. I mean, I would say that some stages I probably take small steps and establishing what I do. So certainly like building a garden, etc. You just take it. It takes years of developing and putting plants in, finding the right place, etc. And then there are other things that you can do straight away. You sort of like think, well, I can do that, so you get on with it and just do it.
Yeah, excellent. I think we've got time for a little bit more. Yeah, I think we have. Yeah. We've done about 17 minutes so far. The next line: if you couldn't wait but not be tired of waiting.
Well, this is sort of like the patient bit, whereas like it's a bit like when you put the kettle on, you think, oh, for goodness sake, hurry up, but you know that you've got to wait for it to boil because the tea won't taste nice unless you do. So in a sense, it's exactly. But
That's a good metaphor, that, yeah.
If you make tea, anyone makes tea, and a nice cup of tea is when it's piping hot. It's not when it's sort of like mediocre because you couldn't wait for the kettle to boil. You just made a cup of tea. It never tastes the same as if you wait till it boils. And so I think it's just a question of developing patience. If I get a bit impatient about something and I think, oh, for goodness sake, hurry up, I then go and find something that I think will take a few minutes to take my mind off of it, and then when I come back, it's ready.
Yeah, that's why I think things like music and podcasts and listening to something through your phone in your ear helps if you're in a queue and stuff like that. But yeah.
I mean, I never get impatient. Like, I'm having to queue up a lot more than I've ever done in my life, but I never get impatient. And what I do is I have a chat with the people who are around me and say, oh, are you all right, etc., and ask them questions, and that passes the time. And before you know it, you're in the shop shopping.
Right, yeah. One thing with all that, we haven't got a kettle, as we've spoken about before. But last thing, and I think this is perhaps the most important thing, with various input we get at the moment, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating.
I'll deal with when someone lies to you and it's a bare stage to lie. You can either call them out, or say that's not true or something like that, and then they will smile at you and say, yeah, I'm exaggerating, and you deal with it in a low-key way. When someone spouts off hate at you, my reaction is, what's happening in your life that you're so angry with? And I just think, really? And I will sort of like take it on the chin and try and ignore it as much as possible. It is difficult, but I mean, we talk about all sorts of things. I mean, and people are sort of like confronted me and said, oh, it's all right because you're white. No, it's not all right because I'm white. I mean, I try and be as understanding as I possibly can with all walks of life, regardless of anything to do with colour or anything like that. So I mean, I don't understand why some people, and it is because something bad has happened to them in the past and they think everyone is the same, and it's not true.
Very good. I put down, don't stoop to somebody else's level, which is very difficult, and try not to become hateful. Very, very difficult. I prefer to take it on board and strategize my comeback.
But you still haven't got any understanding of why that person's in that place, and that's the thing. You've got to understand that, because unless they're in a better place, they're never going to come out of the spiral of hating people.
No. So very good. Nice little chat. That is excellent. That's only verse 1 of 4 we've done, but makes you think a bit, doesn't it?
Verses. Okay then.
And, I bet we get some good feedback on that lot. Yeah, excellent.
Goodbye.
Cheerio. Have a good day. Hope everyone else has a good day as well. Cheerio.